such an overdramatic bitch sometimes.
Somebody help me sing, swing down, sweet Jack. Come on, oh,
Hi, I'm Ivan, and I am a procrastinator. I'm sure if a Procrastinators Anonymous group existed, I'd probably think twice about joining it. I've always overthought things, as procrastination and I go way back. My ideas usually run and argue through my head at such length that by the end, it's hard to tell what I was procrastinating about in the first place. But one idea that has really stuck with me is the thought of being a second-generation immigrant kid. Okay, it's not a catchy label I go around defining myself with, but growing up in London, I found that it's something that you're surrounded with, particularly when I'm around my friends. In school, my mates and I would argue about the nuances of our culture, but always a vicious cussing match.
Look at that! That should win an Oscar!
You're big, you're dumb, but you're fat too. You don't get disgusting. Just kidding.
You captured the light of the world.
We were all on the attack and would get pretty nasty. But it would all be gravy, and we were the best of pals afterwards. But all we were doing was trying to exert our own identity on each other. Now, I was comfortable with the influences from my parents and the culture they grew up with. That was never a problem, and I always embraced it. But, and there's always a but, for me, whilst growing up, there are a lot of influences knocking around, which can really overwhelm a kid. Wading through the different cultural hot pots, whilst trying to also absorb the English culture, coupled with being a London boy, it did get confusing. But going to university was an experience, as this is where the culture clash really began to present itself. As I moved away from the pure ethnic man mashup to go into a relatively monocaste and cultural structure, it was new to me and made me uneasy at times. However, it was this period of my life I started to really question my own ideologies, trying to discover that there's more to just being some saff London boy with a bit of bravado. It's here I started trying to learn more about the world, politics, music, and even looking past my London-centric bubble. All these new influences did leave me in a state of confusion. Which group did I belong to? That aside, I realised I had to travel more, as it's in my blood. I decided to embark on visiting countries that my friends were originally from, as having local knowledge is always a good thing, and can help give an intimate experience of a country. This is where I would start to appreciate the beauty of the environment I grew up in, being able to go to places where you wouldn't normally think twice about. It was beautiful and memorable, particularly as their family treats me like a long-lost son. But with each new country I visited, it made me miss my proverbial motherland more and more. So after 18 years since the last visit, it was time. It was time. It was time. When I came back, I realised that the clearest thing from travelling in general is that no matter where we're from, we all strive for the same things. Love, food, shelter, banter. The influences of our environment and upbringing do help to contribute to our personality.
The stuff that went on, like going on holiday, just through the Cyprus Airways airline.
Yeah.
It was crazy because anything goes. Well, I mean, you can take drills, you can take these massive spit roast skewers.
What do you have a spit roast and hog in your suitcase?
I don't know, we had everything going. But as they were saying, that is an ethnic thing.
That is an ethnic
You know
thing.
that.
But, and this is the most important but, they should not explicitly define us. They should not be used as an excuse to be divisive and think you're better than the uninformed. Because having that superior chip on your shoulder as defence to it being an ethnic thing doesn't really do anyone any favours, does it?